Most people don't realize they are losing money every single day, not through big mistakes, but through small invisible leaks, and those leaks add up over time. This is not about bad decisions. It is about a system that slowly drains value, and most of it happens quietly. The middle class feels this the most, not because they earn less, but because they sit in the middle of the system. They are exposed to every pressure. The biggest leak is inflation. Prices rise slowly but consistently, and over time, that erodes purchasing power. You may not notice it daily, but compare prices over a year. Everything costs more, but income rarely keeps up. This creates a silent loss. Your money buys less each year, and that is one of the biggest hidden costs. Another leak is cash sitting idle. Money in savings accounts feels safe, but it often earns less than inflation. That means your money is losing value while sitting still, not visibly, but constantly, and that loss compounds over time. Fees are another hidden drain. Bank fees, subscription fees, service charges, small amounts that seem harmless, but multiple fees add up. Monthly charges turn into yearly losses, and over years, they become significant. Subscriptions are especially deceptive. You sign up once and forget, but the charges continue. Streaming, apps, memberships, each one seems small, but combined, they create a steady outflow. Debt is another major factor. Credit cards, personal loans, EMIs. Interest quietly eats your income. Minimum payments make it feel manageable, but interest keeps growing in the background, and that slows financial progress. Lifestyle inflation is another hidden issue. As income increases, spending increases too, and savings don't grow as expected. Upgrades feel justified. Better phone, better car, better lifestyle, but expenses rise faster than income. This creates a trap. You earn more but keep less, and that reduces long-term wealth building. Taxes also play a role, not just income tax, but indirect taxes. GST, service taxes, hidden costs and products. You pay them without noticing. They are built into prices, and they reduce your real income. Another silent drain is poor financial planning. Not investing properly, not managing risk. Money sits unused or is used inefficiently, and that limits growth, which is a hidden opportunity loss. Opportunity cost is one of the biggest invisible losses. Money not invested loses potential growth, and growth is what builds wealth. Delaying investment seems harmless, but time is critical, and lost time cannot be recovered. Another factor is lack of awareness. Many people simply don't track their money, and what you don't track, you can't control. Expenses go unnoticed, patterns go unchecked, and small leaks continue. This is why budgeting matters. Not strict control, but awareness. Knowing where money goes. Without awareness, money disappears silently. With awareness, you can redirect it, and that changes everything. Another hidden cost is convenience. Fast delivery, instant services, premium options, all come at a price. Convenience saves time, but costs money. And frequent use increases spending, often without realizing. Discounts can also be misleading. Sales create urgency, and urgency leads to unnecessary purchases. You feel like you are saving money, but you're actually spending more, and that is a psychological trap. Another issue is lack of negotiation. Many people accept prices as fixed, but many expenses are flexible. Rent, subscriptions, services, small negotiations can reduce costs, but most people never try. Insurance is another area, either underinsured or overpaying. Both create financial risk. Wrong coverage leads to unexpected costs, and that can wipe out savings quickly, which makes planning essential. Impulse spending is another leak. Small purchases made without thinking, often driven by emotion. These purchases feel insignificant, but repeated often, they add up and reduce savings. Social pressure also plays a role. Spending to match others, keeping up appearances. This creates unnecessary expenses and financial stress without real benefit. Another hidden drain is low returns. Money invested poorly or not at all, which limits growth potential. Inflation outpaces low returns, and real wealth decreases, even if nominal value increases. This is why investment matters, not just saving but growing money. And growth requires strategy. But many people delay learning. Finance feels complicated, and that delay costs money. Education itself is an investment. Understanding money changes outcomes, and ignorance is expensive. The system is not designed to make this obvious, because hidden losses are easier to ignore, and ignoring them benefits others. But once you see it, you can change it. Awareness is the first step, and action is the second, because these losses are not unavoidable. They can be reduced, managed, and even stopped. Once you understand where your money is leaking, you can start taking control. Knowing where money is leaking is only the first step. The real advantage comes from fixing those leaks, and most fixes are simpler than people think. The first step is awareness. Track every expense for at least 1 month, not roughly, but accurately. When you see where your money actually goes, patterns become clear, and clarity changes behavior, because you can't improve what you don't see. The next step is cutting silent expenses, subscriptions you don't use, services you forgot about. Cancel anything that doesn't add real value. Even small cuts matter, because they stack over time. Then focus on cash management. Keeping money in low-interest accounts is safe, but inefficient. It slowly loses value. Move excess cash into better options. High-yield savings, short-term investments. Anything that beats inflation. Next comes debt control. Start with high-interest debt first. Credit cards are usually the biggest problem. Pay more than the minimum. Even small extra payments reduce interest significantly, and that speeds up progress. Avoid adding new unnecessary debt. Not all debt is bad, but expensive debt is. The goal is not zero debt. It is controlled debt. Debt that does not drain your income. Then comes budgeting. Not strict restriction, but intentional spending. Decide where your money should go. Allocate for needs, wants, and savings. Give every rupee a role. That creates structure. Structure reduces waste, and it increases control, which improves long-term stability. Another key step is automation. Automate savings and investments. It's what happens without effort. When savings are automatic, consistency improves, and consistency builds wealth. Over time, this becomes powerful. Investment is the next major step. Saving alone is not enough. Money must grow. Start simple. Index funds, SIPs, diversified portfolios. You don't need complexity at the beginning. Time is more important than timing. Starting early matters more than perfect decisions, and delay is costly. Focus on long-term growth. Avoid chasing quick returns, because quick returns often come with higher risk. Another important habit is negotiating expenses. Many bills are flexible. Internet, rent, subscriptions. Ask for better deals. Look for alternatives. Small reductions create long-term savings. Insurance should also be optimized. Get the right coverage, not too little, not too expensive. Health and life insurance protect wealth. Without them, one event can undo years of effort that makes them essential. Next is controlling lifestyle inflation. As income increases, avoid increasing expenses at the same rate. Keep lifestyle growth slower than income growth. This creates surplus, and surplus builds wealth. Without it, higher income does not help. Another key strategy is separating wants from needs. Not everything that feels important is necessary, and clarity here reduces waste. Before spending, pause. Ask if it adds long-term value. This small habit changes decisions. Impulse control is powerful. Avoid emotional spending, because emotions often lead to regret. Create a rule for yourself. Wait before making non-essential purchases. This reduces unnecessary spending. Another important step is increasing income. Cutting expenses helps, but income growth accelerates progress. Both are needed. Upskill, invest in yourself, look for better opportunities. Income growth creates more flexibility, and flexibility improves decisions. At the same time, protect your time. Time is linked to money. Poor time use often leads to poor financial decisions. Efficient time use improves productivity, and productivity increases earning potential. That connection matters. Another factor is financial education. Learn continuously. Understand how money works. The more you understand, the better your decisions. And better decisions compound over time. Avoid blindly following trends. Not every investment is suitable, and hype often leads to losses. Focus on fundamentals, diversification, consistency, and patience. These principles work over time. Another important habit is building an emergency fund. Unexpected expenses happen, and preparation prevents stress. Keep at least a few months of expenses saved. This creates security, and security improves decision-making. Without a safety net, every expense becomes urgent, and urgency leads to poor choices. That is why this step is critical. Another strategy is tracking progress. Measure savings, investments, and net worth. Seeing progress keeps you motivated. Motivation drives consistency, and consistency builds results. Without it, plans fail. At the same time, avoid comparison. Everyone's financial journey is different. Comparing leads to bad decisions. Focus on your own goals, your own progress, and your own system. Another key idea is long-term thinking. Short-term decisions often cost more. Long-term thinking builds wealth. Think in years, not days. Think in growth, not quick gains. This mindset changes outcomes. Finally, remember this. Money is not just about earning. It is about managing, protecting, and growing. Most people focus only on earning, but the real difference comes from control, and control comes from awareness and action. Because once you stop the leaks, your money finally starts working for you instead of against you.